Hi guys, it's I've been back again with another video and let's get right into it. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the differences between rim brakes and disc brakes and the differences between mechanical disc brakes and hydraulic disc brakes. So if you're buying your first bike, so you probably might buy a bike that comes with rim brakes because that is a cheaper option and you would not spend a lot of money on your first bike. So that's what you might expect to get if you but nowadays mechanical disc brakes have gotten quite cheap, so you can get them on prices priced somewhere around 15,000 rupees. You can start to see some disc brakes. Talking about my experience, I've owned bikes which had rim brakes front and rear. I had a bike which had a disc brake in the front and a rim brake at the rear. I had a bike with both front and rear mechanical disc brakes, and the bike I currently have has front and rear hydraulic disc brakes. Starting off with rim brakes, like you can see here, this is an example of V-brake and or power brakes as people like to call it, and these are cantilever brakes. So cantilever brakes are basically the predecessor of V-brakes. The V-brakes have evolved from them, so they are a bit more modern. They are a bit more let's say user friendly. Not that they are very user friendly, but they're comparatively better because they're easier to set up and easier to use. The thing is that rim brakes are very bad in wet riding conditions. So say you are riding on the trails in the wet, or if you're just riding on the road and it's raining or something like that, so your rim gets wet, and as soon as you pull the lever, the brake pads do not contact the rim directly. They kind of, there's water in between, so it doesn't slow you down at all, and that is very scary if you need to stop in an emergency. And if you like pull the brakes too hard, then obviously if the brakes do bite on, it's going to skid because there is no modulation available in mechanical sorry in just rim brakes. Moving on, you can get disc brakes just like this one. uh, this is something that you might get when you might buy a bike which is slightly in the, like I said, 15,000 rupee range. So I think you should go for disc brakes, so it gives you an option to upgrade to hydraulic disc brakes in the future. But if you can't do that, then I would suggest you go for mechanical disc brakes. Also, they are the best option because they are the most easily maintainable for a home mechanic, and they are easily serviceable. So that's not a issue there. They just require very basic and minimum maintenance. The only thing you need to keep a check on is the brake pad wear and how much material you are left with on the pads. The same goes for rim brakes and hydraulic disc brakes. It's just easier to see on a rim brake how much material there's left, whereas the pads in the disc brakes are inside the caliper, so it's kind of hard to see. So you might take the pads out, or you might just take just the wheel out, and you might just be able to gaze inside the caliper to see how much material you are left with. So coming to mechanical disc brakes, like I said, they are the most easiest brakes to live with. They just require very basic maintenance. Now there are two types of mechanical disc brakes. One which is just a single piston. So imagine the this is one side of the pad, sorry, the caliper. The disc is right in between, and then there's the other half of the caliper. So there are two pads and a disc in between. So one pad does not move at all. The brake pad on the outer side is the one that moves, and it just squeezes the disc onto the other pad. So you kind of need to keep screwing in the stationary pad inwards, so there is even wear on both the pads. I hope I explained that in a good way because it was quite weird. But and then there are mechanical disc brakes that are dual piston, so both the pistons work at the same time when you pull the lever. Now that is the that like so that's the best style or the type of disc brake that you need. And for hydraulic disc brakes, there are only a handful of very cheap disc brakes that are only single piston. Otherwise all the brakes are dual piston. And now there are also brakes that are four piston brakes, so that you have even more braking power. And a lot of companies do this, that they'll spec a four piston brake in the front and a two piston brake in the rear. They'll have the same levers and all, but it's just that you need more braking power and more modulation at the front of the bike as compared to the rear of the bike. Because in mountain biking, when you're riding trails, your front tire is the only thing that gives you grip. The rear tire just helps you go over things. So you need much more braking power in the front of the bike as compared to the rear of the bike. Because if you just if you try and slow down using your rear brakes, your bike is just going to skid. Whereas your front brake, you can modulate to slow down as quick as possible. Also, uh, bikes usually come with 160 millimeter discs in the front and the rear. Only recently road bikes have shifted over to disc brakes, so they come with 140 millimeter discs because they are better ventilated discs, so they don't produce as much heat, or sorry, they cool down much quicker compared to the normal discs that we have in mountain biking. So they don't need as big of a diameter of a disc to slow down. Also, the diameter of the disc plays a very big part in how much braking power you get. So currently I have 160 millimeter rotors in the front and the rear. And I had and in my previous bike I had mechanical disc brakes, and they also had 160 millimeter rotors front and rear. So mechanical brakes do not have as much power as hydraulic disc brakes for sure, but I still think that the front brake is lacking a bit of power. So I have ordered a new disc for the front of my bike. I will make a video on how to correctly replace a rotor on your bike and how to bed your rotor in, because you need to bed your rotor in, otherwise you will not get that full braking power, the full performance that you can get out of your bike. Also, like you can see here, there are many examples of disc brakes here. So these are by SRAM, and these are the Guide RSCs. These are the Shimano XTR. Again, the SRAM Guide RSCs. These are the most high-end tier brakes that these companies make. These are the Magura MT7s. So like you can see, these are a four-piston brake. This is a four-piston brake. This one as well is a four-piston brake. Likewise, this one. So bikes are moving towards, or the industry is moving towards four piston brakes, because they you get much better heat dissipation and much more braking power as compared to just two piston brakes. Also, you will never see now V brake or a cantilever brake in any of the UCI downhill races, or cross country races, or even in EWS, because no one really uses them these days. They are basically a piece of garbage, because they only work in the dry, they wear out super quickly. You need to constantly keep adjusting them. Also, they don't last as long. So there's no, like, you can get them if you don't if you don't really love the sport a lot, or you don't ride your bike a lot. But if you are serious about riding, you should go for disc brakes, because that's the best option right now available to us. And currently, because the technology obviously trickle downs over the years, so you can get good disc brakes at a cheaper price now. So I hope you have a better understanding of disc brakes and rim brakes, and I hope I've cleared any doubts that you had. If you have any questions or queries, leave it down in the comment section, and I will reply to your comment or your question. And my Instagram is down below in the description box. So if you have any questions that might require a lot more back and forth, please DM me on Instagram, and I will help you out. So that has been it. Thank you for your time, guys. It's Ride Urban signing out.